Today, we're digging into a powerful framework for building a more intentional life. This is all about laying the right foundations, especially during those early years when every choice feels so big. Let's get right into it. You know that feeling when you feel like you're standing right at the beginning of your adult life and you're just staring out at this massive horizon? It's filled with all this amazing possibility, but wow, also a ton of uncertainty. It's a feeling we all go through, and it's exactly what we're tackling today. The inspiration for this comes from a really cool source called the 100-Letter Project. And just like it says, it's basically a series of letters written for anyone who's at that pivotal moment trying to figure out which path to take. So what's the hook? What makes this different from all the other advice out there? Well, it all starts with who these letters are for, which is a really unique idea. See, all the letters are written to this fictional young woman, Aida. She's kind of like a stand-in, a muse who gives the advice a very personal, human feel. But here's the thing. While the letters are addressed to her, they're really for you. They're for all of us who are trying to navigate these same questions. Okay, so let's get into the core philosophy of this whole thing. This is about building a framework for how to think, not just being told what to think. And this is the key difference right here. This is not a rule book. It's not a list of instructions or ready-made conclusions. Instead, it offers you companions and reflections. It's a guide on how to see the world, not a prescription for what you should see. Think of them like short, supportive guides you can have by your side for the journey. Just little reflections meant to help you find your footing and, move forward with a real sense of purpose. And this brings us to the central metaphor of the whole project. Each letter, on its own, is like a single landmark, but when you put them all together, they form a map for navigating the entire landscape of your life. So, what's on this map? What territory does it cover? The whole project is structured as a journey through 5 key stages. The source calls them the 5 great movements. These 5 movements are the major landscapes you're going to navigate. It all starts with you, the foundations of self. Then it moves outward to how you see the world, your relationships, your search for meaning, and finally, the really practical stuff, money, work, and freedom. Let's do a quick fly-through. First up, foundations of self. This is all about building your inner world. And a core idea here is that your own curiosity is your best compass. Instead of looking outside for what you should care about, you look inside to find what truly grabs you. This part also really hammers home the idea of being accountable to, your future self. It reframes discipline not as some kind of punishment, but as an act of kindness, an investment in the person you're becoming. Next, movement 2, seeing the world clearly. This is all about your perception. It pushes you to get really honest about the stories you tell yourself, those powerful, often unconscious narratives that shape your whole life. It also introduces some brilliant mental models, like inversion. So instead of always asking, how can I succeed, you flip it and ask, what could make me fail? By figuring out what to avoid, you clear the path to success. It's a total game changer. Movement 3 is love and the human heart. And we're not just talking about romance here. This is about deep, meaningful connections. It tackles one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make, who you choose to let into your inner circle. And it doesn't sugarcoat it. It makes it clear that deep bonds take real work. They need consistent investment, your time, your vulnerability, your effort. But it also shows you exactly why that price is absolutely worth paying. Fourth, we have meaning and the long road. And the big idea here is that purpose isn't something you just magically find one day. No, it's something you have to grow. You cultivate it over time by taking on responsibility and contributing to something bigger than yourself. And all of that leads to this incredibly powerful goal. Build a life that you don't feel the need to escape from. The aim is to create a daily reality that's so aligned with who you are that the idea of a vacation as an escape just doesn't make sense anymore. And finally, we get to the practical stuff with movement 5, money, work, and freedom. This section gives you concrete tools, like the idea of figuring out your freedom number. That's the amount of money you need to have saved to cover all your expenses, giving you true freedom over your time. And it completely reframes the goal of wealth. It argues that the real point of money isn't the flashy car or the big house. It's something way more valuable: peace of mind. True wealth is stability and quiet confidence. So, we've seen the letters, we've seen the core philosophy, and we've walked through the 5 movements on the map. Now, the spotlight turns right back to you. And if there's one thing to take away, it's this. This whole project doesn't give you the answers. It gives you a new lens, a new way to see your life, a better framework for making choices, and a clearer perspective on how to grow on purpose. And so, here we are, right back at the beginning. The map is laid out, it shows the paths of self-knowledge, perception, love, meaning, and freedom. The only question left is, what's your first step?